Well, this video really will make me nervous and all that sort of stuff, but it needs to be taught as a fact because it's just embarrassing that a lot of people can't see through the lies of what. There's no difference between me or any other minority group. I'm white, but just because I'm white doesn't mean I'm any different than any other minority group. So this makes me very nervous in the fact that I had to make this script, this 3-page script, to show why racism and prejudice really doesn't exist. It's just a theory to keep people in line and in control. And so I would like for y'all to just stop what you're doing. This isn't one of my normal videos, but please hit that like, comment, and subscribe down below. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss a future upload. And my P.O. box will be in the description down below if y'all want to send me anything, letters or anything. Doesn't matter. But this video is near and dear to my heart because, number one, I'm going to put down every single myth that people minorities use to defend their bad actions, and the fact that white privilege doesn't even exist in my eyes. So race and why it doesn't matter. Racism. What is it? How is it defined? Why do we as a society believe in the separation of races? What can be done about it? These are the things I hope to answer as we go through this video essay. Race is defined as each of the major groupings into which humankind is considered to be divided on the basis of physical characteristics or a shared ancestry. Racism definition. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonization directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. How does racism exist to begin with? First and foremost, racism started with the class system in ancient Europe, started by the Romans. First and foremost, women had no rights. Slavery was started in Roman times, and any conquered land had to work for the good of the people. The class system can be summarized in low class, middle class, and upper class. Low class citizen, a hardworking individual that makes little to no impact on federal affairs, i.e. illegal immigrant, day workers, people that don't pay taxes on time or when they get paid. Middle class citizens, a hardworking individual who is working hard, paying taxes for the benefit of their future generations, and is a majority of the populace. Upper class citizens, ruling class, the 1%, the politicians, the controllers of money, the controllers of all media, people who have never had to work a day in their life but make bank every day regardless of what occurs on the outside world. The 1% rule with an iron fist because schools teach us to be subservient donkeys in the face of adversity. The 99%, if we want, could rise and remake the earth that has no false promises, no fake news, no death by governmental hands, no destructive tendency, but the media feeds us fear. Fear is the only human emotion that doesn't allow us as a human species to think clearly. Fear doesn't do anything but divide the species of humanity apart. Fear of the unknown makes racism rise. Racism is just the automatic gameplay of, I don't understand you, so I fear you. Therefore, I already hate you without even knowing you, and I will fight you for my right to live for no reason whatsoever. Think war. The middle and lower class citizenry are fighting a never ending story of corruption of what is taught in schools. When we go to school, we should be taught facts, not ideals to strive for. When you strive for ideals that haven't been met for thousands of years, good luck. You'll always be failing. When you're taught that is how it is, that is how it was, how it is, and how it will be until we as a human race decide to change, for nothing will ever change. It doesn't happen. Nothing is stopping white guys and black guys from speaking. Nothing is stopping from Christians to talking to LGBTQ communities in a cordial manner, in a manner of mutual respect and understanding. It is groups who want revenge for past actions that need to be stopped, not the individual. How many blacks have actually been helped by the organization known as Black Lives Matter? How do y'all feel when Antifa and BLM destroyed cities in 2020 and spread fires of fear and chaos? Did that help y'all feel less marred by the fact that everyone is enslaved by the federal government? The money we touch, who owns it? And I'm going to hold up this dollar bill while I'm speaking and reading what it says on it. Federal Reserve Note, United States of America. And then if you go into this corner, which this is opposite from what you would be looking at in a regular dollar bill, this note is legal tender for all debts, both public and private. Essentially, the money we own is an IOU statement of unkept promises from the federal government. What is a Social Security card, and what does it mean? A Social Security card is a card given at birth, or a card given when one becomes a fully fledged citizen with a 9-digit code that states who you are according to the government, with the false promise of giving you income once you get to a certain age from the year 1932. I was born in 1991, so I would have to wait until I am almost 85 years old to get funding from the feds. That is, if I even live that long. That, to me, is an unkept promise. You're guaranteeing me money, but you're not guaranteeing me money. That's a false promise. Universal health care is another form of slavery. And I'm going to just give an example of Little Tim from, what's the book? Charles Dickens' A Christmas Story. You want surgery? Sorry, Little Tim, but there's a 6-month backlog of surgery patients to go through until I get to you. Good luck overcoming cancer or a broken leg in the case of Little Tim's case, because the doctors are paid not to help you. That's what universal health care is. The government doesn't care about, just like I have mentioned 3 ways in which the 99% of society are enslaved by the 1% who control everything and sees what we do as bad for society. The government doesn't care about the little man. It isn't paid to care about you. It won't care for you. You owe nothing to the feds, but they owe you everything, because without our compliance as a society, the government would not exist. Social Security, slaver's tags, equals slaver's tags. Driver's license, you are enslaved to your vehicle. Prison, forceful enslavement while inside in 10 years afterwards. Can't get a job for at least 10 years because that FBI record. Healthcare, enslavement to political and social pressure. Government, the few who control all. Populace, those who give their freedoms freely for the government to do with as they will. Basically, poke us in the ass, Pokey. Political groups, BLM, Antifa, neo-Nazi, KKK, any group that promises change but cannot maintain the product of change. Basically, you're paying them for something you could already do yourself but are too lazy to do. We are all enslaved by the government and by the ideologies we are taught in schools. I myself was bullied by my first two principals in elementary school, and for the first 7 years of schooling for being different, for being smarter than the rest of the class, and it made me feel worse than the dirt on which bare feet tread. Finally, last page. We as a society need to change positively and look towards a positive future of learning about our similarities, our struggles as a collective unit. It is the individual who speaks for the good of all that becomes one of all. It is up to us as the individuals of the human collective to help our fellow brothers and sisters in their times of need, even if they are not bound by our bloodlines, our race, our bloodlines being the color of our skin or our athletic structure. That's what I mean by that. Not whether you're smart or not. If a person needs help, do not hesitate to act in accordance with what is right and just. Even if it is socially awkward, you owe it to yourself and to society to pay it forward with good works and deeds. And if you do, I guarantee that you will be rewarded in more ways than one. Racism is taught at a young age in the school system to bring down people's morals and money-making capabilities through fear. Racism is not taught by the family, it isn't taught in religion, it is taught in the school system, which in turn is controlled by the federal government. Next time any minority wants to take it up with your senator or representative from your area as to why you aren't getting fair treatment. There is a belief that white privilege exists. White privilege is a lie told to white kids so that they don't feel that they have to work as hard as minority. No matter what business you are in, it is hard work. No matter what your school has taught you, you can still be declined a job for any number of reasons. Whether you have a past record or whether you just aren't focused enough at your job to get your job done properly. You can get a job and be fired within the same day from said job if you so wish, or if your boss so wishes you to. It doesn't matter. So at that point, there is no point to all this racial bigotry that keeps going on in this world, because racism doesn't exist. It's an ideology taught in schools because schools teach ideology, not fact. Fact is stranger than fiction, let me tell you. And so therefore it pays to know the facts and not put emotion into the facts. This video has made me very nervous because I don't like talking about political things. I don't like talking about ideology, and I don't really like talking about don't judge a book by its cover, which is taught throughout the centuries in various works of literature if people would just read those literatures. But it's just one of those deals where you can't judge a book by its cover. What does that mean? You can't judge a person by its face value. You can't judge me because I'm white. You can't judge the black guy next door because he's black. You judge based off of their actions, what they do. You don't judge based off of the color of their skin. And that's the highest form of bigotry, and that is what racism is. It's the highest form of bigotry. Racism, or racist in general, want people to be divided based off the color of their skin. No, I would prefer people be divided by the way that they act, for whether it be for good or for bad. If they're for bad, I would rather them be separated from the good people. But it's not a racist type of ideology. That's called the prison system. But it's just one of those deals where groups that promise protection can't protect you. I learned that the hard way working at the airline industry and having a union that couldn't protect my job or my interests at all, ever. It was always the company that had the final say, not the union. The union couldn't protect me worth shit, and that's how I know the government's corrupt, because the government owns the unions. Majority of the unions are owned by the federal government. So next time you pay your union dues, ask where those dues are actually going. Are they going to politicians that are going to help or hinder social progress? This is your host, LegoBrad86, signing out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next wonderful